Like what I do? Support me on Patreon. The link is below.
Welcome to the Twisted Tentacle Tavern. I'm your innkeeper, Vase Odin, and today we are concluding the spell series for the Artíficer Battlesmith for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Let's get started. So at level 17, you get 5th level spells, the highest level that you're going to be able to cast, so you have some big decisions to make as to which ones you're going to have prepared. The two that you always have prepared are Banishing Smite and Mass Cure Wounds, so let's talk about those first. Banishing Smite is one that I'd probably not cast very often. You can hit for an additional 5d10 damage when you hit with an attack, and if the enemy has 50 hit points or less, it's automatically banished for the duration of the spell. Sure, you can take an enemy out of a fight, but only temporarily. And if it has less than 50 hit points left, probably it was going to die this round anyways, unless you're at the bottom of the initiative order. I think if you're going to cast a 5th level spell, there are better options out there. Some people like these smite spells. I'm not a fan of the smite spells. And the thing is, these use your concentration. So if you're planning on concentrating on another spell, you're not going to be able to cast this Banishing Smite. And it only uses your concentration until you hit. So it literally is like, it's like a thorn on the side of your concentration spells. Because you can't just cast it on your attack. You have to drop concentration, use it, and then cast another concentration spell. You can't, or you'd have to use it first in the beginning of the fight, which means the creature's not going to have less than 50 hit points. I mean, there's just so much about it I don't like. Some of you are going to say that you like how it does 5d10 and it banishes, but if you like it, use it. But I just probably wouldn't be using the spell that often. Mass Cure Wounds. You can use an action to heal your allies within a 30-foot radius for 3d8 plus your intelligence modifier. This sounds like a good heal, but I think generally you're going to have 2 or 3 allies who have taken massive damage and a few who have barely taken any damage. That's generally how it works. The people in the back, the wizard and the druid, they're in the back. Fighter and cleric are going to be up front. They're going to be taking the most damage. The other two probably haven't taken any damage. So if it gave you a pool of hit points to distribute, as you wish throughout your party, then I think that this spell would be much better. It's always prepared, so it's definitely nice to have it in case you need a quick heal. But at this level, 3d8 plus 5 is really not going to turn the fight in your favor. It's not going to do anything. If someone goes down in the fight, it'll bring them back up, but they're going to go down the next round again because you're level 17. Things are doing a lot more than 3d8 damage per hit, and they're having multiple attacks per round in addition to that. So, yeah, I mean, it's nice to have it, I guess. All right, let's talk about the spells that you can prepare or not prepare. Animate objects. Now this is a much better way to deal massive damage than Banishing Smite. If you want to up your damage significantly, this is the spell to do it with. I know what some of you are going to say. A lot of creatures at this level are resistant to non-magical damage. Yes, that's true. But it's still more damage output over a few rounds than wasting your 5th level spell slot on Banishing Smite and possibly getting rid of a concentration spell because of it. Not just that, but they can serve many other uses out of combat. I would take this spell in a heartbeat. This is a definite yes for me. Bigby's Hand. This one's another very useful spell in and out of combat. It does decent damage. It has some battlefield control effects. Just a solid choice. Creation. This is kind of a handy spell that allows you to create material from almost nothing. I don't like that the item that you create goes away after some time. I get that that could be too powerful if you're going to be making money or something like that. In a wizard or a full caster, this is probably a pretty good spell, but as a battlesmith, you get this at 17th level. I can't emphasize that enough. A lot of these spells, if you take them into perspective as a 3rd level spell, as a 4th level spell, in this case a 5th level spell, it's not bad. What it does is not bad for a 5th level spell. but you got to factor in the fact that as a battlesmith or artificer in general, you're getting this at the end of your adventuring career at 17th level, where casters have 8th level, where full casters have 8th level spells. So that is definitely a factor to take into consideration when choosing to prepare spells like this, because this spell at 17th level is probably not going to be very helpful anymore. Greater Restoration. This one's a good spell to have in your back pocket. If you're playing healing support, this is a must-have, yes. But even if you're not, at this level, you will be hit with non-stop debuffs and status effects and conditions and things like that. So being able to get rid of these is a huge plus. Definitely pack this spell. Skill Empowerment. This is a major skip for me. I just don't even understand this spell. Basically, you give expertise to someone for a skill for an hour, and it requires concentration. The problem is that the target already has to be proficient in the skill. I mean, 5th level spell. Oh man, most skill checks that you or your party have to make at this level can probably be overcome with magic or other class abilities. So I just don't get this. Level 17, I mean, I just don't understand it. And you have to be proficient. So let's say you want to give someone expertise in picking locks. Oh, well, they're not proficient. Tough, you know? Oh, the rogue? Yeah, well, they already probably have expertise. Or if they're proficient, it's probably the skill is high enough that you're not going to need the expertise on it. I don't know. It's just... wow. Yeah. Transmute Rock. A huge debuff and battlefield control spell that doesn't require concentration. And it lasts until dispelled. Another thumbs up. This one can grant your group such a huge tactical advantage. And not only that, but it can do some area effect damage in a pinch as well. So it's a good spell. I would say, yeah, go for this one. And Wall of Stone, this is good if you're fighting in a war or major battle with dozens or hundreds of combatants. For adventuring, this one may not be as good. Sure, you can make a bridge over a chasm or something, but at this level, chasms shouldn't be a problem for your party. And if they are, then something's wrong with your party at 17th level. So I just don't see a reason to waste a 5th level spell slot for this kind of function. I'd skip it on most days, and I'd only prepare it if I knew that there was going to be a war or something, which is possible at this level. And that does it for the 5th level spell. So, a definite yes, I'm going to say Greater Restoration, Animate Objects, and Bigby's Hand. For a definite no's, I think that would be Creation and definitely Skill Empowerment. Probably the worst spell that the Artificer Battlesmith gets. Skill Empowerment. And that does it for our 5th level spells. That does it for our spell series for the Artificer Battlesmith. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I'd be happy to read them, and I'll be happy to respond to them. And if you like this video or this video series, please subscribe. It helps the channel out to get seen by others. Hit the thumbs up, the like button. Hit the dislike button too. What the heck? Hit them both. Hit both, and then we'll get a ton of views and stuff. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a drink. Say a prayer for it. Welcome to the Twisted Tentacle Tavern. I'm your innkeeper, Vase Odin, and today we are finishing the spells video series for the Battlesmith, Artificer Battlesmith, for 5th level. Oh, I'm tired.